Hello everyone, my name is Pawan and I'm an interview specialist. So today I'm going to share with you 7 important tips which you need to keep in your mind before you're supposed to go for any kind of an interview. So these tips can be applied for your online as well as for your offline interview. So point number 1, that is about location. Try to reach your location at the very earliest. For example, if your interview time is at 11 a.m., at least try to reach your location by 10:45. Okay, and even if it is an online interview, make sure that you log in at the very earliest. Okay, this is the first important tip. Now, second important tip is make sure that you wear a formal attire. The formal attire plays a very important role before you go for any kind of interview, because that represents how much professionalism you are and how well equipped you are before you're taking up that kind of responsibility. Because your attire basically tells you about what kind of personality you reflect. Okay, so I better well know that the true beauty is within, but when you go for an interview, it is very important that you present your external factors in a very well defined manner. This is a point number 2. Point number 3 is called as review your application. What do you mean by review your application? It's very simple. It's like kindly just go through your resume once. That will actually indeedly give you a confidence, because you might have mentioned your achievements over there. You might have mentioned about your academic qualifications or something like that. So when you just go through it, you get a sense of confidence. It will tell you that yes, I can do it. I can do it with complete confidence. I can understand what kind of question they can ask for my resume. That itself will boost you up. Now, fourth important point is called as understand your job description, or it could be about any kind of college interview which you're going to apply. Understand on what kind of course you're going to apply for. So job description as well as what kind of course you're going to apply, try to understand a little more depth about it. It can be you can just go to their website, or you can understand what are their terms and conditions, or it could be what are their roles and responsibilities. Okay, now fifth important point is called as research about that organization, or research about the university or college which you're applying for. Very important point. See, I've seen many of the time, one of my students, when I just take mock interview or many such sessions for the students, I've observed many times, they don't research about that particular course, or they don't research about that particular organization. As such, when we ask more amount of the questions about the organizations, these people will be really blank. And we interviews will get super really angry about this particular factors and then there'll be negative marking for it. So make sure that you research about the organization very well. Now, when I say about the sixth important point is called as format of your interview, if you're able to know very well. If you get to know that who is your interview personality, who's going to interview you, or if you come to know which room or which organization, which particular place you're going to be having the interview, just have a prior mock test before you're going to attend for an interview. It's called as mock interview or mock test, whatever ways you can just call it as. But make sure that you do some kind of mock interviews before you go for an interview, because that itself will provide you confidence. So if you observe these athletic competitions or any kind of sports competition or any kind of competition, or before you go to an exam, you prepare then you go, right? As such, your entire performance becomes amazing. The biggest mistake done by the students or the working professionals is that when they go for the interview, they don't ever consider about simple understanding about, they don't try to do much amount of mock interviews or much amount of practice for it. So make sure that you don't repeat such kind of mistake, and make sure that you bring your best version out of it in your interview. Now, seventh important point is carry all your documents. I remember one of the interview sessions which I was just taking, and that student was from Maharashtra, okay, and we asked him to bring all kind of documents and other kind of stuff. But to be astonishing, and the day of this interview, he forgot to bring his own resume. Or it could be about his degree certificates. Our interview panel was like, oh my god, what are we supposed to even do? How are we supposed to even consider a person who's not punctual? He's not punctual in his own life, how can he be punctual in his own workforce or while coming to that particular college? So he got rejected in there. So very important thing is called carry all your documents. As a bonus tip, which I can tell you is that, just keep a small snip chat or like a paper and just write it down what all documents you're supposed to carry it, and cross check before you're going to leave your home. Okay, so these are the 7 important tips which you need to keep in your mind before you're going for any kind of an interview. And trust me, these points are going to really impact you when you're going for any kind of interview, and it's going to increase your performance. So that's all for today's video, and this is a part 1 video on 7 tips on how you need to prepare for your interview. Now further parts of this you can find it in the playlist. I'll be dropping the link in the description box. So in this playlist, all the aspect about the interviews I'll be mentioning in much brief. So regardless you're going for any kind of job interview, university, college, any other factors, considering all other factors, I've just condensed this video. So that's all for today's video. Hope you like it, enjoy this video, and make sure that you write down all the notes, whichever is important, and please please do like, share and subscribe. If you have any kind of doubts or comments, just let me know in the chat box. I'll be glad to help you. So let's catch up for the next video. Until then, goodbye.